what do you think are the chances to be a future Alpine Formula 1 driver?
I just want to make sure that I can get in a seat.
So if it's necessary, you're ready to jump in the car?
Yes, exactly. I'll have all my mileage ready. I'll be for sure in the window.
Jack, you're done finishing your testing day in the 2022 Alpine car. Yeah, first of all, how was it?
Yeah, it was really, really good. It's the first time I used this car. We have been converting it from the 23 car, all winter. Obviously, main prep has been on 24, so this got a little bit delayed, but still everyone's been working tirelessly to get this car here yesterday. And then basically doing an all-nighter from Monday to Tuesday to get everything ready. So it was really good to get on track yesterday, shake everything down. And then today we got to focus on 4 Q-sims this morning and then finish it off with a full 2-stop race sim this afternoon. And everything went smoothly, executed. A few little hiccups as normal that we were able to conquer and get on top of. But great 2 days of testing.
How is it for you to race in the Netherlands? Because your father, was a legend in the Netherlands. He was on 2 wheels. You're hopefully on 4 wheels. Did he told you anything about the Netherlands and driving here?
That the Strooper waffles, that they are very Stroper waffles, that they're extremely good. And he definitely, said that he's going to keep them for me while I'm here, and then they just disappear.
Mick, you're back in the Netherlands, and I think you're loved. You're still a legend. You were a legend. How is it for you to be back in the country? You had so much success.
It's great. I love Holland. I never raced in Zandvoort, but still.
TT Assen.
The TT was always in Assen for when I was competing, at least, and still is there today. But the Dutch people are passionate about all motor racing, especially now with what Verstappen's doing in Formula 1.
We've always loved this place. My first time coming here in Zandvoort was at the end of 2018 after my first year in cars. So it's awesome to come back here and be in Formula 1 machinery.
Your father did it on 2 wheels, you're on 4 wheels, and I understand that it has to do something maybe with Michael Schumacher that you started to race on 4 wheels and not just 2.
Michael gave me my first go-kart, me and my sister, for Christmas when I was 3, which was very, very cool, which was an introduction. Dad also always had an appreciation for 4 wheels, drove one-off race in DTM and always had go-karts at home and sort of had a passion for that.
Do you sometimes blame Michael Schumacher that he didn't give your son a motorbike, but like a go-kart when he was 3 years old?
Yes, well, I'd given him a bike, and that didn't end too well, because he broke his leg when he was 5 years old. So
when I broke my left leg when I was 5 years old on a dirt bike, a little bit scared of sort of a trauma injury, and I think when I sort of got more into karting a couple of years later, it was more something that I was wanting to do on a regular instead of the bike being more of a hobby and just I can do that when I want. So it gradually just started getting more and more intense, even as a 7-year-old kid, and transpired into racing.
The Schumacher go-kart for both his sister and Jack sort of certainly helped pursue the 4-wheel path.
How is it for you to be now back in a Formula 1 car? Because you're testing the new regulation car, the car of 2022, with all the ground effect downforce. How was it to be back on track?
Yeah, it's great. All my previous mileage, which has been a lot in a Formula 1 car, has been in the 2021 machinery. So obviously the old regulations, 13-inch tyre, lighter, and just a different philosophy. So to be in the 22 car with the same sort of, again, to say the same word, philosophy as the current regulation, with the ground effect, more downforce obviously on the floor, 18-inch tyres, way less obviously rear ride height, so the driving position is different. Just to be back into that sort of way is important, so that when I do hop into this new regulation car, hopefully next year, but also during this year, I am coming from the same machinery technically that I'm testing, just some small few adjustments.
As a father, I'm very proud to have seen what he's achieved and how hard he pushes himself to continually try and strive to be the best.
How important do you think is it for Jack having a person like you, his father, around him to help him? You've dealt with a lot of things, you know what's going on in these days. How important do you think it's for Jack?
Look, I'm sure it's beneficial at this stage of his career. You've got to let him make a lot of the decisions, of course, but at a younger when he's a go-karting type F4, F3 type of things, just working on the mental side of things. And you're right, there's a lot of similarities in the way the paddock works, the way the engineers work, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, Jack grasps that very quickly and is able to adapt. But by all means, I'm no different than any other father, really, just there to support my son, as others do. And, I've got a little bit of experience, but again, there's a time and a place to be able to sort of push that onto him. If I push it too hard, he thinks I'm being critical. So I've got to sort of let him come to me.
How do you prepare yourself for these kind of days? Because they're really hectic, really busy. You have long times in the car, quali, race all in one day. Is there a particular way how you prepare yourself for it?
I think, obviously we get to do some time in the simulator, the factory, but also, this time as I'm not racing this year gives me a lot of time to obviously be out of the car, be training. My training's, being able to actually increase from when I was racing, as I don't have to make sure that leading into a race weekend, as it would be Imola, I can train full blast over the weekend, but also coming in, I don't have to worry about being, 100%, say, being careful on the body. I can really maximize that, which is helping me in car. But also, I'm getting mileage, 10 to 12 days in the car this year, so it isn't something that's just out of the blue where it's difficult to sort of adjust to. I'm more than capable and ready to adapt to these, you could say, stressful and long days.
How many laps did it cost you to be on full race pace?
I think by third push lap, I have quite a good feeling. On these sort of test days here, especially, we had no recollection of anything actually properly putting any decent rubber down on the circuit. Plus conditions, the wind is changing quite a lot. Yesterday we had 26 to 30 km/h winds, not in favourable conditions. So there's definitely a bit of caution that needs to take place. This is a brand new car. We just put it together. I do not want to go out there and try and get every last millisecond out of the car on first lap and potentially end up in the sand trap that we have plenty of them here in Zandvoort. So when we take it step by step, there was no real rush to get into things, but I felt comfortable very, very quickly.
I think 2025 and 2026 are going to be really important years in Formula One. We have a lot of talents in Formula One, and we also have a lot of drivers who've been there for ages, like an Alonso and Magnus. What do you think are the chances to be a future Alpine Formula One driver?
I just want to make sure that I can get in a seat regardless next year. I want to be in there with Alpine. I think I have objectives to do out of the car, in the car, whether that's at the sim, on track, but also here testing, making sure I'm maximizing it and ticking all the boxes. And I feel that's what I'm doing now. And as the position that I'm in and what I've done, I feel like I should be in with a good chance as a seat next year.
Look, the window's very short. We've got to be serious about that and realistic. But, you never know. With Formula One, it's so dynamic, it's so fluid. The good thing is Jack, and that's why he's here today, he has quite a lot of mileage under his belt, a lot of kilometres of testing, and he's fast. In F2, unfortunately, things just didn't work out. But I mean, he won a lot of races in especially in 23. In 22. Sorry. If it wasn't for all the technical issues and being taken out on restarts, etc., the points were all there. But being on pole position and the cars, the electronics failing, whole bunch of things like that, wheels falling off, because it pits and whatnot. He's proven he's quick enough. He's proven he's quick enough in the Formula One car. His last F2 race was a pole and winning the race. So, in comparison to some of these other young guys who've been fortunate enough to jump in as a reserve driver, his credibility is good. His resume is a lot better than those guys, and he has more mileage. So, I think he could perform very well in the car, but until you give him that chance, and those chances don't come along very easily, he's just got to keep working away.
We obviously chose for the decision not to race this year to prepare me more for Formula One with the simulator and also this on-track testing. So it'll be a natural transition to continue in this path with Alpine and join as a full-time driver next year.
Because how does your week looks like right now? Because you're a test driver, you also do a lot of simulating. But how does your week look like? Now you're in Zandvoort, but
So yeah, right now obviously we flew here on Monday to give you a full week analysis. Tested yesterday, tested today. Tonight I'll fly to the UK, take a transfer to the factory. I'll be in the simulator all day tomorrow doing Imola prep, and then Friday I'll be in the simulator from about 12 p.m. till 3 a.m. doing the sim race support, and then a 7 a.m. flight to Imola that day to get there hopefully just before FP3 in Imola over the weekend, and then drive back home on Sunday night.
So if it's necessary, you're ready to jump in the car.
Yes, exactly. I'll have all my mileage ready. I'll be for sure in the window.
How will Australia respond when they hear there is a Doohan back on the highest level of motorsport?
Look, I think they'd be ecstatic. It's 4 wheels, as you say, versus 2 wheels, but still, you know, the Australians are very passionate about motor racing. So if Jack could secure a seat, I think the nation would be very happy.
Could you still beat him on a bike and he in a car?
I might be able to beat him on a bike, but certainly not on a car.
And the last question, what would be your dream scenario for the coming 3 years from you, Jack?
To be signed as Alpine Formula 1 driver for 2025 and beyond. Join the team, continue progress, continue working forward with our new philosophy, and moving forward with the team and getting to a place where we want to be. Alpine have dedicated a lot to me and gave me a great opportunity, and I really want there to have the chance to obviously repay that and get to where we want to be. Not only just be driving in Formula 1, but getting to I know where all our work effort and ethic is going towards, which is hopefully being on the podium and winning races in the future.
We wish you all the luck, and hopefully we hear a lot of you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.